Yes, Ms. Bowe.
Brigadier, I want to put to you a different possibility to what Commissioner Khumalo put to you. So your response to Sergeant Sugudu having gone to convey a message of gratitude to Witness B, that it would be said somewhat nonsensical for that to happen because she had previously indicated that the bail would be opposed. You recall that? Now, we specifically, during Witness B's testimony, asked the question, why would a message of gratitude come to you when it was clear that bail would be opposed? And her answer was that she perceived it as a thinly veiled threat and just a message of saying, we are watching. Bearing in mind that the gratitude is coming from you, a senior officer at the rank of a brigadier, to a junior officer at the rank of a sergeant. What is your comment to that?
I wouldn't do that. I did not send Tsugudu to send a message of thank you.
And even though you say you didn't, you understand why, if such a message were to be delivered, it would come across as a threat.
Yes.
And then, Brigadier, just to go back to something that you said, it's not in your statement, but when you were dealing with paragraph 30 of your statement, and you were talking about the general response when you told the group that included Sergeant Sugudu that you told your brother-in-law that you don't discuss work issues. You mentioned specifically in your explanation that you even went to a point of saying, as they were questioning why ungasizus bar? Sorry, I was making a remark about my poor Zulu. You indicated that you even, in fact, said to them in broad terms, no, you don't want to get involved in that, but if they wanted to, they can do so. You recall that?
Yes, Advocate.
So if you recall saying that and given your friendship with Sergeant Sugudu, would you fault him then for taking that plight forward, given that you did say if they wanted to, they could?
Yes, Advocate, I will fault him on the basis of, I'll go back to the two faults, on the basis of him having to carry out a request or an instruction from a social gathering. And on the other fault, I will not blame him for thinking that he's helping a friend.
So you do accept that you wouldn't fault him because he would be helping a friend?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, I want to move.
In fact, I would go on to say, I would put it higher than not faulting a friend. I would say that you put to him certain information, which is your brother-in-law wants to know whether the state will oppose bail and your brother-in-law is prepared to make payment. You put that information to him, and then you then also say, I'm not going to help because I don't do business with family or work with family, but if any one of you wants to help, you can do so. I think with that, it's consistent. In fact, what he says in his statement that he then said to you, I will ask Witness B, is very much consistent with that last statement from you that says if any one of you wants to help, you can do so. and it's more probable than not that he responded to you to say, I will ask her. Because it makes sense in the sequence of what you say and him saying, I responded and said, I will ask her. Do you accept that's a fair way of summarizing what probably happened here?
On balance of probability, I accept.
Okay, thank you.
And to put another probability to you, Brigadier, another probability is that the reason why you even told Captain Tukudu about your conversation with your brother-in-law was because you wanted him to convey that message to witness B. Otherwise, it would have been a pointless conversation to have with Captain Tukudu, is it Sergeant Tukudu? The only reason you had that conversation with him was you wanted to convey to him so that he can convey to witness B what your brother had conveyed to you. Do you want to comment?
Yes, Commissioner Kumalo, I deny, I never had that intention.
Because I can't think of any reason why what your brother discussed with you would be of any interest to Sergeant Tukudu. It is a family discussion. You are getting acquainted with your brother-in-law who you didn't know for years or had not seen for years. And you were upset about how the conversation went and you wanted it to end there. But the fact that you went and you repeated it to Captain Tukudu suggests to me that you wanted him to convey that to witness B.
I can't blame you for thinking that way, Commissioner.
As I said, I'm not suggesting that that is in fact the position, so that you understand.
I agree.
Yeah, it is a probability.
Yes.
I put it no higher than that, amongst many probabilities.
Yes, I agree, Commissioner.
Lastly, Brigadier, on this topic, the statement from Sergeant Tukudu is in January 2025. You will see that at page 3. It's the 14th of January 2025. You've described him as a good friend of yours, and he also does explain that you have a close relationship or a good relationship. Do you have a reason why he would make up this elaborate story about how the conversation about your brother-in-law came about? What was said in that conversation by you to him? And lastly, what you find in paragraph 5, which is that you later called him and told him that the family thanks, your brother-in-law's family thank him for Mr. Tau's bail. Do you have a suggestion why he would make up this elaborate story if it is not true, considering that he's a good friend of yours?
I am struggling to make anything out of that commission. I wouldn't really think of the reason why you will be doing that, except what I said earlier on, that the probability could be that he was doing a friend a favor.
Thank you, Brigadier. Thank you, Ms.
Thanks, Commissioner.
And then just to complete this topic, I want to bring to your attention, Brigadier, the statement of the provincial component head of organized crime. If we go to page 61 of tab 3, that would be annexure B7. Have you found it?
That is in page 61.
Yes, the rate 61.
I got it, Commissioners.
You will see there that it is a statement from, I'm trying to look if but she says she's the provincial head of organized crime. Or she's at least in that unit. And we know her to be the supervisor of the investigators in the case, as well as Sergeant Sugud. Are you familiar with Ms. Fopan?
Yes, Commissioners, on top of that statement is written that Cynthia Pulan Hopan. So
Yes.
I'm familiar with her. I know her.
Do you know her rank?
Yes.
It
It's
is
a brigadier.
Brigadier. Okay. Thank you. That assists me. And you will see there that in the second paragraph, she recounts similar to what witness B had testified and what Sergeant Sugudu has said, that the detectives were approached by Sergeant Sugudu on your instruction to inquire about Mr. Dao's bail, and that they were surprised because they do not know you. And she informed the members that this was a sensitive case and they were not to talk about it to anyone except for herself and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Major General Kumalo. You see that?
Yes.
And then says that during that period, the members were busy with a formal bail application on the same mentioned suspect. The said suspect was granted bail. They further reported that the very same member, being Sergeant Sugudu, called them to say, Brigadier Nkwashu says, thank you so much. The same suspect was rearrested on the 20th of September. Brigadier Hobani says she called Sergeant Sugudu and the member to reprimand him. The member agreed and said he didn't know and was just sent by the brigadier. He didn't know how serious the case is. He further apologized and he said he would stop this behavior. So here I was just trying to show you that this version that he has of you, he then reports this when reprimanded to his supervisor. Can you see?
I see, Advocate.
Yeah, and I think it's similar to the question that Commissioner Baloyi asked, it is improbable for him to construct such a scheme and to go as far as even reporting this to his superiors if it was untrue. Do you accept that?
I don't accept it, Advocate, in the context that you put it, because it is not Sergeant Sugudu who reported it to the Brigadier.
No.
Instead, it is...
My apologies, Brigadier. Maybe I'm not suggesting that he reported it. I'm saying when reprimanded, he still insisted that it was you who sent him.
Oh, yes, I see
Yes.
it, yeah. Yes.
All right. Commissioners, I'm going to move off of this topic to head to the next one. And that relates, if we go sequentially through your statement, Brigadier, we're going to section E, and that's the demand for the Arman Swart murder docket.
Section E.
Page 11, Brigadier.
Page 11. Please, Commissioner.
For purposes of this section, I guess I will direct when we get there. So, Brigadier, you mentioned there that you never made a demand for the docket. Instead, at the time, you were acting on instruction from the provincial commissioner to collect all dockets that had J50 warrants of arrest and submit them to the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Crime Detection, Major General Mbuso Khumalo. Is that correct?
Correct, Advocate.
And that was because there was a direction from the Premier of Gauteng for Major General Khumalo to oversee those dockets.
Correct, Advocate.
Now, let's start here. Commissioners, if we can go...
Sorry. This may be a matter of detail, but I'm interested to just get an idea on, or rather, what authority, if any, did the Premier have to give such a direction? Do you know?
I don't know, Commissioner.
You may proceed, Ms. Bowen.
All right. So now to begin with, in order to understand this instruction, I'm going to ask Brigadier that we go to CJC 187. It would be the red page 27.
Um, 187 you said. Is it in page 22?
27.
27, I'm sorry.
So CJC 187 and then page 27.
Oh, I've got it. Thanks, Advocate.
Yes. Just to contextualize this, when we received your statement, we then, of course, wrote to various officers asking for correspondence in relation to the request for dockets and what the project was about.
Yes, Advocate.
So one of the things that was provided to us is this email that went out to all of the districts explaining what was necessary. So if you have regard to the bottom of page 27, you will see there all of the district people that were contacted. Can you see that? It goes on to the following page.
Yes, sir.
And you will see on page 28 that you are one of the recipients. Can you see that?
Correct, Advocate.
And then if you have regard to the body of the email, it says request for copies of J50 warrants of arrest, Premier's Wanted Persons Project. Do you have
Suspect.
Premier's Wanted Persons Project?
I'm just correcting you. Sorry, Advocate. That's Premier's Wanted Suspects that I'm seeing here in my panel.
Are we at the same page?
Yeah, page 28.
Advocate Boyd, the subject of the email.
Yes, my apologies. So if we look at the body of the email, see, good morning, attention, district commissioners, district coordination, and then coordinators, and then it says request for copies of J50 warrants of arrest, Premier's Wanted Persons Project.
Correct, Advocate. I'm sorry.
No, we are both correct in this regard. And you'll see there, it says by directives of DPC Crime Detection, all provincial commanders and section commanders must submit copies of the J50 warrants of arrest to room S, that room, and it gives then the total and the breakdown per district. Can you see that?
Correct, Advocate.
Right. Do you recall receiving this email?
Correct, Advocate.
And then just for completeness, if you look at the following page, you will see there that it's the same project, and there was an attachment of the list of copies of the J50 warrants of arrest needed. Can you see that?
At page 30.
Sorry, at page 29, that email.
There is no attachment.
The attachment is at page 30.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes,
what
I
we
see.
did, just for transparency, is we only inserted the annexure that related to the Sidibeng district. So we didn't attach all of the others related to other districts. So this was then the email that was sent to you in the list of dockets that, or warrants that were sought.
Correct, Advocate.
And you will see on page, the following page after, with what should be page 30. Yeah, page 30. The last, can you confirm that the last case at the bottom is the docket in question?
Correct, Advocate.
Now, if you look at the instruction that was sent to you and what was sought, what was sought was copies of the warrants of arrest from these dockets. So my question is, why were you requesting the docket in its entirety?
Thank you, Advocate. When an instruction of this nature is issued, we all know that the warrant of arrest, which is a J50, is attached to a docket. So, meaning it's a document that is within the docket. And if you are to deal with the J50, meaning you have to account as to why is the suspect not being arrested. Now, in the docket, there will be a page that contains the contents of the activities done by the investigating officers, such as suspect trace was not found, or suspect was never traced for a particular period. So if you request the warrant of arrest only, you will not be privy to that information.
I suppose my question is, if you look at page 28, the instruction there seems quite clear. I can understand and appreciate your explanation that you would want more than the J50 to understand what is happening. But it seems there that the directive is for submission of copies of the J50, and they say in brackets warrants of arrest.
Thank you, Advocate. In my experience, when a J50 warrant of arrest is requested, you can't remove it from the main docket. You keep it in the docket and then you submit the docket so that it can give you more details, as I've alluded earlier on.
But you see here that they requested copies, not the actual warrants.
Advocate, I'm not disputing the fact that they requested copies, but we normally do it that way, as I've explained, that even when the warrant is needed. For an example, Advocate, when the suspect is arrested, say in KwaZulu-Natal, and then they will send a similar kind of a request to say, we have arrested a wanted suspect in this environment. So the system shows that there is a warrant of arrest issued to him, to this particular person. So when you go look for the copy of the J50, you'll get it in the docket. And that particular suspect, if you take only the copy, you send it to the particular station requesting the J50 warrant, the court will not prosecute this arrested suspect without the docket.
You mean the NPA, the court does not prosecute?
The NPA, thanks, Commissioner.
Maybe let me understand this. What did you understand the previous wanted persons project to be?
The previous wanted project.
This project, what did you understand it to be?
Oh, yes,
Or
thanks,
about-
Advocate.
Yeah.
This project, I understood it to be for all those cases where warrant of arrest were issued for particular suspects who are wanted and are not arrested as yet. Now, when you send the docket to the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, they will need to peruse the docket and acquaint themselves with what is happening in the investigation of the case. Why, for an example, why is this suspect not being arrested? And hence, I'm saying you send the copy of the warrant of arrest within that particular docket for perusal by the requester.
All right. Now, if you then look at CJC 188, it starts at page 31.
Perhaps just some questions on the annexure we are dealing with and the paragraph this relates to. So the oversight function by Major General Kumalo that you referred to in paragraph 40 was to follow up on the investigation as you explained.
Commissioner, let me apologize.
You say the docket was the dockets were to be looked at and questions like why has this and that not happened? Why has this person not been arrested? So that's the oversight function, which you say was to be conducted by Major General Kumalo. Look at paragraph 40 if you don't follow what I'm asking.
Paragraph 40
40 of your statement.
of my statement.
Yes.
I'm on paragraph 40, Commissioner.
Yes. Do you see that towards the end of the paragraph, you referred to some oversight function that was going to be performed by Major General Kumalo in relation to or with regard to these dockets?
I think I'm at the wrong page.
I was just about to ask what's so difficult.
Thank you very much. My apology, Commissioner. I'm at the relevant
Yes.
page now. I see what you are referring me to,
Yes.
Commissioner Chair.
Yes. Now, do you have any idea how long this oversight would have taken?
No, Commissioner.
But surely if General Kumalo was to go through all these dockets. Look at them. They are listed at page 28. And if I'm reading this correctly, there were 421 of them. Is that correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
So I would imagine this would have taken quite some time. Not so. If the general was to go through all 421 of them, correct?
Correct, Commissioner. Although I know for a fact that if it's a project, the general will have a team that will be assisting him to go through the dockets.
But you've already said correct, it would take quite some time, even if it was a team, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. Now, during that time, if all dockets have physically been taken to the general, that means the investigators involved, or rather investigating those dockets, would have no access to them and would not be able to conduct investigations on them.
Commissioner, I will base my answer on experience of projects
Yes.
of this nature.
Yes.
Usually, when a task team is formed to give attention to these cases, they have a number of investigating officers whom they are going to assign these dockets to for that time period. On the other fold, they will peruse the docket, and if they are satisfied that the current investigating officer is doing well in the investigation, they may return the docket with instructions to that particular original investigator. So, hence I'm saying it could take time if the general was gonna sit with these dockets with the few investigating officers. However, if it is done in the way that I'm saying, Commissioner Chair, it does not take time on other matters.
All right. Perhaps let me leave that there. Look at the subject line of the email at page 28. This is something that Ms. Bowe has touched on. And also the subject of the email itself now. I'm no longer referring to the subject line at the top, but in the email, the body of the email itself, both refer to open quote, copies of J58, or the one says J58 warrant of arrests. Should have said warrants of arrest. Then that's the subject line of the email. And then the body of the email, the subject at the top before the content of the email also says request for copies of J50 brackets warrants of arrest close brackets. And then again, the body of the email says by directives of the DPC, crime detection, all provincial commanders and section commanders must submit open quote, copies of the J50 bracket warrant of arrest, close bracket. The language could not have been clearer. All that this is asking for are warrants of arrest. I do not understand your explanation that no, this is actually not asking for warrants of arrest, it's asking for full dockets. It doesn't say so, not once. I've referred you to 3 parts. All 3 parts refer to warrants of arrest. It doesn't matter, in my view, what your experience is. This says nothing about the full dockets. What's your comment to that?
Commissioner, my comment will be that the manner in which this email was crafted, I'm agreeing with you on perceiving it to be needing only.
I'm not perceiving, I'm reading what's on the Brigadier. It's not a matter of perception. That's what's in black and white in front of you and me. It's asking for J50 warrants of arrest in so many words at 3 places, as I emphasize. So it's not a perception. Please go ahead with your explanation. Or rather, with your comment.
I apologize, Commissioner, for that.
No need. No. I'm just correcting you. No need for an apology.
Thanks,
Brigadier.
Commissioner.
Yes.
And like I was saying, Commissioner, we always send dockets, even though the subject matter will be saying copies of the J50 warrant of arrest. And to support my submission, Commissioner, at no stage did we send these dockets when the copies were requested and the dockets were returned, and they say they only needed the copies.
Now, when you take the whole docket to General Kumalo, it would be having inside it the original warrant of arrest, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. That exactly makes my point. In so many words, this docket, rather this document, the email, 3 times refers to copies. So it's copies 3 times. Let's leave aside the reference to warrants now and focus on copies. Surely that could not have been calling for a full docket. If it's asking for copies and it's specified what those copies are, copies of what? That's specified. Copies in so many words, Brigadier. So how can you say what was required was a full docket with original, underlying original warrants of arrest inside it?
Commissioner, Chair, I understand what you're saying, and let me agree with you that the email was talking to the copies of the warrant of arrest. However, my initial submission still stands that we normally send the dockets with the warrant of arrest, Commissioner. And remember, Commissioner Chair, I said in some instances, when a task team is established, when they read the investigation on the docket, on the wanted copies, they reassign the docket to the task team members and to continue with the investigation while they're having the initial case docket, not only the copy of the warrant of arrest.
I will stop there for now.
Can I come to your rescue, Brigadier?
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Page 29, the following email. Can I come to your rescue? Paragraph 3 of the email, which relates to the same instruction, says facilitate the collection of dockets from districts and stations. So clearly there was some confusion, and one can see how even if the original instruction was warrants only, the other email clearly refers to dockets. So I'm coming to your rescue there, but I've got a question for you. By this time, you know that Dow has been arrested in relation to one of these cases because you know it's a murder case. Remember, we are in 2025 now. You also know that Katiso Molefe has been arrested in relation to a Vereeniging murder case. and you know that other suspects are at large in relation to that case. You have visited Katiso Molefe twice already by this time. You had been to Groenpoint twice by this time. Why do you still involve yourself in the process, knowing very well that the suspect in this case is your brother-in-law and his friends? Because this is now March 2025. Remember when you were in Groenpoint in December, it was 2024, and you went again in February 2025. You are now in March 2025. Why are you still involving yourself in the request for this docket when you know that it relates to a case against your brother-in-law and his friend, and as we see here, your brother-in-law's son or nephew?
Thank you very much, Commissioner Kumalo, and for also rescuing me.
For the lifeline.
For the lifeline, Commissioner. Thanks. Commissioner, the warrant or the docket, which you're saying, why would I still involve myself knowing that my brother-in-law is a suspect into it? At that stage, Commissioner, my brother-in-law was not a suspect into that case. And the J50 warrant of arrest was for, I think when we looked at it, it was for his nephew.
No, I'm not talking about the warrant. I'm talking about the docket itself. The docket is the Ahmad Swart murder docket. And I rescued you and said your understanding was that this refers to dockets, not the individual warrant, because there would be multiple warrants in the docket because there are multiple suspects.
Correct.
Now, you already know that Katiso Molefe is arrested in relation to this, and you already know that his friend that he spoke to you about in June of 2024 is arrested in relation to this case. Why do you involve yourself in the request for the very same docket where your brother-in-law is involved, where his friend is involved, and as we see in the warrant itself, his nephew is involved? That's really my question. So don't focus on the warrant because you're saying you are asking for the docket.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo, once more. At the time of me complying with this instruction from the province, I was not aware, Commissioner, that this docket is the docket pertaining to Katiso Molefe.
No, but you know that the Citibank murder dockets, one of them relates to Katiso. You've already seen him in prison. He's already appeared in court. You know he spoke to you about Tau. And you know that Tau was arrested in your district or the case is in your district for murder. You already know that. So how can you say you did not know that one of the murder dockets would be this docket?
Commissioner, I did not know the case number by heart. When this list of dockets were sent, I just saw a list of dockets and I started distributing instructions to the immediate commanders of the section on those cases. I did not at that stage, I was not aware at that stage that these dockets of Vereeniging, because it was not the only one in Vereeniging, Commissioner, that was needed. Commissioner, you will remember, after the conversation between me and witness D, after when the docket was not delivered, after the first conversation, I realized thereafter that no. This case is talking to the Molefe. then that's when I started to realize, then I recused myself. So had I realized earlier on that this docket is amongst the other dockets that were requested, Commissioner, I would have done the same at that time.
No, Brigadier, I find that difficult to believe because you knew in 2024 already that a murder docket from Citibank had been transferred to organized crime and that some of the suspects had not been arrested. So when there's a request for a collection of dockets relating to murders and wanted suspects, I mean, surely you should know that amongst them would be this one. And you would have known that before you even called one of the investigating officers. Because even when you made the call, you must have known what docket you are looking for. Because you already have some of the dockets, 2 are missing. But then you know who to call, so you're not looking around. The moment you made the first phone call, you must have known which docket you were looking for.
Commissioner, honestly,
Now, I just find it difficult to believe. I'm
I
sorry.
was not aware.
I find it difficult to believe, but I will leave it there.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Brigadier, we want to come back here, but before we stray too far ahead, just on the point of copies, I just want to draw your attention to CJC 188, right? You will see there, it's page 31.
I'm there, Advocate.
Thank you. Just checking with the commissioners. You'll see there that it's page 31 and 32 are 2 screenshots. And it's a conversation between Warrant Officer Mills and Witness B. So I'll say the black with a slight shading. That is the text from Warrant Officer Mills, who we've been told is in Major General Mbuso Khumalo's office. And he then reached out to Witness B to obtain a copy or a picture of the J50. And this was done on the 8th of April. If you look at the following page, there is a clear picture that was sent of the warrant in question. And the shading is terrible, but you will see after that is sent, Warrant Officer Mills responds with a bowing picture. Can you see that?
Advocate, you respond with
A picture of a person tipping their hat and bowing.
in page 32.
Yes, after the picture is sent.
On the,
You see, right?
It's not very clear. It's right at the bottom.
or at the bottom. Oh, yes. It's not yet clear.
It's black on black.
Yes, Commissioner.
Black on black. So there you see is Witness B complying with the request for a copy. And this was done by the 8th of April 2025.
Okay, Commissioner.
Now, this will then take us to the calls that then happen between yourself and Witness B.
Just ask my question.
Yes.
That document at page 29, Brigadier, the one that you were referred to by Commissioner Khumalo, the writer, or at the foot of that document, it says it has a name there with a cell phone number. You see where I'm looking? And it's addressed to, at the bottom, it says, attention, Lieutenant Colonel Prose. And then at the bottom, it's a Colonel Bazaden-Holt. You see where I'm reading?
Yes, I see it, Commissioner.
Now, this is on a blank page. It doesn't indicate, and when you look at the email addresses, they seem to be private emails except the copy to Bezuidenhout, which is the subs. Who is Colonel Bezuidenhout? Because this is the only document of the documents that are in front of us which specifies dockets to be collected. Who is Bezuidenhout?
I don't know him, Commissioner. I can only presume that he's working at the provincial head office.
Yes. And Prowse is in the office of Major General Mbuso.
Exactly, Commissioner. Perhaps what I can say, Colonel Bezuidenhout, senior to Lieutenant Colonel Prowse. So it could be that they're working together, but Prowse reporting to Colonel Bezuidenhout.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Brigadier, just to point out that, witness B complied with the request for a copy, albeit a picture of the J50 on the 8th, right? And you then you reach out to, is it Colonel Grundling? Colonel Grundling on the 16th of April. So that's after the submission. Maybe just to help you with the dates, if you go to page 4 of that last tab, so CJC 185.
185.
Yes. So page 4. You'll see there it's the statement of Colonel Grundling.
Correct, Advocate.
And he notes there that he received a request from you on the 16th of April, 2025. That's at paragraph 2.
Correct, Advocate.
I just want to point out that at the time that you are making this request, the copy of the J50 as instructed was already sent.
Okay, I see that, Advocate.
All right, and just to add further complications, in your interaction with Chair, you noted that the instruction was to submit to Major General Mbuso Khumalo, who would do a review and oversee the investigations. You recall that?
Yes, Advocate.
Now I want to take you to page, so this is now tab 3, page 41. You'll see there it's witness B statement.
Page 41.
41.
Page 41 of tab 3. It's not a statement of witness B.
I'll show you the statement itself starts at page 10 and goes, for purpose of this, we included her entire statement.
Okay, all right, I
Yes.
see it, yeah.
So that's a continuation. So if you have regard to 2 paragraphs in particular, if you look at paragraph 83, she detailed there that, maybe to contextualize, after Mr. Tau was granted bail, the detective sought assistance from Major General Mbuso Khumalo. And at paragraph 83, she details how she then had a call with General Khumalo and summarized the issues. And then Major General Khumalo indicated a need for them to meet. Then if you turn over to the next page at paragraph 88, you'll see there she details how they then met with Major General Khumalo, who provided them with they provided him with a detailed account of the investigation. He started to give them guidance, emphasizing their safety and help them the safety of the team and the docket, and arranging for ongoing oversight. So from around at least around the 20th of August, Major General Khumalo was already providing oversight over this docket.
I see it, Advocate.
Yes, so if you take into account the request for copies, and perhaps there's a confusion because the prior email talked about dockets, the fact that witness B had already provided the copy. Moreover, the docket was already being overseen at the provincial office. It still begs the question, why were you still trying to get the docket on the 16th of April in 2025?
Understand the proposition that you are making and that you are seeking comment on. Are you proposing that there was no instruction from the provincial commissioner to comply with?
No, certainly.
And so he need not have asked for the docket. I'm trying to follow the proposition you are making to the witness so I can understand his answer.
My proposition to the witness is that what was requested from the various districts was submission of copies of warrants of arrest, and that was complied with on the 8th. Now, over and above that, the Brigadier in his statement says the reason for submitting the entire docket is for oversight by Major General Mbuso Khumalo. And it's just to point out that this docket in particular was already overseen by Major General Mbuso Khumalo. So at the point at which he writes a WhatsApp to Lieutenant Colonel Grundling, not only was the copy submitted, but the docket itself was under supervision of Major General Khumalo. And so it begs the question, why was he still seeking the docket at that stage?
Isn't maybe an earlier question that should be asked is whether you became aware that witness B had provided the J50 on the 8th of April as per that WhatsApp messages?
Should I respond to that?
Yes, you may.
Certainly.
Thanks, Commissioner Baloyi. Yes, I was not aware at that stage that the IO has already submitted this warrant of arrest, which is why I was saying to Commissioner Khumalo that I only started becoming aware by the time I was speaking to the IO. And it was after the warrant of arrest was submitted by them. Lately did I know that it has been submitted. And on the 14th of April 2025, the provincial commissioner made a follow-up on those dockets, and the list that I received on the 14th, it's got that docket in that list. So I think it will also assist in Commissioner Chair in saying that because they've sent the warrant of arrest to the province, not the docket. But still, they sent an email requesting the docket from CDB. So it answers, I think, all the commissioners in that surely they were looking for the docket. Number two, I did not know that the copy of the warrant of arrest has been already submitted on the 8th. And I had no interest in the docket per se. Hence, when I identified that this docket is of Mulif Commissioner Kumalo, I recused myself.
Let me ask a related question. The email that requires the one from Bezuidenhout, it's the body of the email itself that, hold on, let me get my facts right. Yes, the email at page 28 from Lieutenant Colonel Prowse, it gives a deadline for submitting these copies of warrants of arrest. It says the 28th of March, 2025. And yet your request or your WhatsApp to Grundling is on the 16th of April. So it is past the deadline. Can you just explain, does it mean you never complied with that deadline? If you did comply, why do you still ask for these specific dockets, including the 275 docket on the 16th of April?
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. It's just that we had a long day. I can't remember the pages which I should refer you to, but we dealt with earlier on. But I think it is on the section where there are the annexures from the commission. We received, or let me say, initially, the docket that were requested, it was 23 of Citibank. I hope the commissioner remembers that. It was 23 in total. And the instruction that we received on the 14th of April was requesting or was having an attachment of only 12 dockets, suggesting that already 11 has been submitted to the province. Now, I believe in those...
Look at 37 as you answer. I think that's what you're looking for, page 37.
Page 37.
The same one where the email is. It's CJC 192. See, although it's a 2026 letter, paragraph 2, that's where I saw the reference to the 14th of April. There was a spreadsheet of outstanding dockets.
Correct once more, Commissioner Kumalo, and thanks for assisting once more. The instruction that we received was dated the 14th of April. Now, the annexure attached to the email of the 14th of April of Citibank only was now having 12 dockets, no longer 23, suggesting that 11 has already been submitted. Now, the provincial commissioner was saying in this email, in paragraph 1, kindly note that Deputy Provincial Commissioner of Crime Detection, Major General Kumalo, issued an internal correspondence to the 5 district commissioners within the Gauteng province, namely all of them were named, requesting for the list of wanted suspects to be purified. Whether they are still on the run, arrested, or other cases or disease, see attached correspondence marked Annexure A dated the 19th of April for ease of reference. Okay, it just goes on to mention that the district commissioners were handed over a spreadsheet, and this is the spreadsheet that I'm talking, that we were having 12 outstanding dockets, where in that spreadsheet, the case in question was amongst them, although they've already submitted the J50 warrant of arrest to the province.
Thank you.
And can you explain why they had submitted only a J50 or a warrant of arrest? Of course, I know you did not submit it. Do you have an idea?
I don't
Because
have an idea.
it seems they too read this or understood this exactly the way I understood it.
Exactly, Commissioner Chair, I agree with you.
Yes, Ms. Bowen.
Thank you, Commissioners. Now, you, in response to a conversation engagement with Commissioner Kumalo, you indicated that, sorry, I want to move on to the 2 calls that then happened between yourself and witness B.
Okay.
Yes. It's on record that Colonel Grundling informed witness B that you were looking for the dockets, and witness B undertook to call you. So she initiates the first call to you. Do you recall that?
I'm sorry, Advocate. You say I recall that Colonel Grundling.
I'm saying that it's on record that Colonel Grundling informed witness B that you are looking for the docket.
Correct.
And it is witness B that then calls you to explain where the docket is.
Correct.
You recall that.
Yes.
Now, if we go to your paragraph 42 and on page 12 of your statement.
Sorry, I'm not there yet. Advocate is in Bundley. I mean, it's in
In the first
section.
in the first section
First section,
at page 12.
page 85.
No, page 12.
12. I'm there, Advocate.
You recall earlier you confirmed that she called and explained where the docket was, and you responded by asking that he send an email. That's correct?
Correct, Advocate.
And then you said in your engagement with Commissioner Kumalo that after that call, it dawned on you that that docket related to Mr. Molefe.
Correct, Advocate.
And prompting you to then call witness B back and say, don't send it to me. You recall that?
Yes.
What exactly dawned on you? What is it that triggered your memory that this docket related to Mr. Molefe?
I was already told that there is an investigation, right, that is ongoing on the case of Katisum Lefe, that is investigated by the organized crime. Now, by now, I remember the incident happened in April. And when it happened in April, where Michael Pulita was arrested, that is the docket that we have moved to the, I've moved to the province, and now at organized crime. Now, witness B phones me and says, I heard that Colonel Friendling says you are looking for the docket. I said, who am I speaking to? She said, she mentioned, and then witness B further explained to me, and that jogged back my mind to say, oh, okay, this is the docket.
I'm sorry, just to understand, what is it about her explanation? Is it just her, where she's stationed, that jogged your memory?
Yes, organized crime, and it is in April.
When you say it's in April, what do you mean? What's in April? Because remember, Mr. Tau is arrested in April of 2024. We are now in April of 2025. This interaction happens.
Yes, advocate. I mean, the case is of April 2024.
So that, because is it that she informs you that the case is of April 2024?
Yes, not necessarily that she informed me is of April. As I'm speaking to him, she's saying that the docket is at the DPP, and this case, when I look at the list now, having been reminded that the investigating officer is from organized crime after the identification at the beginning of the call, obviously my mind ran to that particular case.
Brigadier, my difficulty is if you look at the transcript of your call with witness B, which is in tab 3 at page 64.
The advocate?
You'll see there that the only thing she mentioned is that she was in organized crime. Apart from that, there are no other details about the case. There's nothing about April in your conversation.
Yes, you're quite right, advocate. As I'm speaking to her, she's telling me who she is, from organized crime, and I went back to the list of the dockets. And when I look at the case, it happened in April, and already the case of April where Pulita was arrested, it was, and I mean, of course, Katisum Lefe. It was all over. It was now the talk of the town. And by now, I know that the witness B is the investigating officer of this case.
When you say by now, you mean from that call?
Yes.
that the docket was sitting with organized crime, you have known all along, right?
Yes.
Correct. And when you are then told by, perhaps I should start here, did Colonel Grundling tell you where the docket was? The dockets that you were looking for?
No, he never told me where the docket was.
And at that stage, you were looking for 3 dockets. Did it dawn on you to look at the system where those dockets were? The 3 dockets?
Yes. There were 3 dockets from Vereeniging.
Yes, and did it dawn on you to look at where those dockets were?
No. Remember, advocate, me, I'm just giving instruction, overseeing that the instruction is complied with.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not doing the investigation myself.
Yes, I suppose, Brigadier, I just find
Sorry, Miss Boy. Let's just take a 5-minute adjournment and may council come outside again, please. 5 only.
All right, it seems we are ready to resume. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Bowe.
Yes, Brigadier, let's then move on to the second call. In particular, I'm interested in when you call back to witness B and you say to her, "Ngi suspect." Your explanation earlier was that you had learned that, or you say an informer had previously told you that your name had been mentioned in connection with Tau matter and that you were under investigation. Were you told by somebody within the SAPS?
No.
And when you're told this, they say who is it that mentioned your name in relation to the Tau matter?
Can you repeat that, Advocate?
Who is it that was mentioning your name around the Tau matter?
Who was informing me?
No. I trust that you won't tell me your informer. I'm more interested in who your informer was saying mentioned your name in connection with the Tau matter.
I'm struggling to understand that question, Advocate.
Okay,
Please,
perhaps let's then take it
rephrase
step by step. You say that you were informed that your name was being mentioned in connection with the Tau matter.
Yes.
Were you informed who was mentioning your name?
By my informer?
Yes.
Yes.
They told you, so who was mentioning your name?
I can't reveal that, Advocate.
I think there may be a misunderstanding. You're not being asked to reveal the name of the informer.
Yes.
That's not the question.
Yes.
The question is, when the informer told you that your name is being mentioned, did the informer tell you who has mentioned your name relating to the Tau matter? Who has said anything about you relating to the Tau matter?
No. My informer happened to be an informer of crime intelligence that I know for a fact. Now, when he told me, he said, the people, I overheard those people at the crime intelligence saying that you are under investigation on the Katiso matter.
Did he give you any names of the people at crime intelligence that he overheard?
No, he didn't give me the names, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And this investigation that he was referring to, did you do any follow-up to check if there's an investigation of this nature going on?
No, I didn't.
So did you just take him on face value that this may be true?
Yes, Advocate.
And why did you believe that it could be true?
My informer has never lied to me.
Oh, so it's on the back of your informer being reliable.
Yes.
And then what did you do with this information?
No, I waited for this day to come because I knew that when investigation is taking place, there will be time that I will be informed that I'm being investigated.
And then when does your informer tell you this? When exactly or whereabouts?
It was, I think it was after my visit to the prison.
So in sometime in December?
No, I think it.
Or you mean the second visit?
Second visit.
So sometime after February, you were told?
Yes.
And now having been told, and I guess you had a realization that you wanted to stay away from this matter to avoid any appearance of conflict of interest, you didn't then, I don't know, like learn the case number so that in case it comes up, you know to avoid it?
No, I did not investigate the matter myself. I didn't. I said, let me just wait, it will come.
No, not necessarily investigate. I'm asking that you say you wanted to avoid any appearance of a conflict of interest.
Yes.
So I'm asking you, did you learn at the very least the case number to know that when this docket comes up, you need to stay away from it?
Yes, I knew the case number by then.
So that you would have known the case number in, you say February then?
Yes, by February. After that, going to March and April, the case number, I knew.
Okay, then when in March these instructions come for the dockets which list the case number, why didn't you recuse yourself earlier? It's to Commissioner Kumalo's point. Why didn't you recuse yourself earlier?
Commissioners, when I saw that list in the spreadsheet, I did not go case by case to check the case numbers. What was of essence to me was the stations listed. And then I then forwarded those lists to the detective commanders, as I've alluded earlier on. So I did not go deeper to read one by one, because I never thought this case could be in the J50 project.
All right, thank you, Brigadier. Commissioners, I'm going to move from this topic.
But just before that, Brigadier, are you an unforgiving person by nature? To family in particular?
No, Commissioner, I forgive.
You forgive?
Yeah, I forgive, Commissioner.
Even for what you may consider to be what? The worst conduct, you consider yourself to be a forgiving person?
Commissioner, there are quite few instances where we had differences with my immediate family members. And in the meeting, I'll chip out, or I'll tell them where to, I'm sorry for my ways, where to get off. And it be a question of we are no longer talking to one another. And after some time, I sit down and think back, and I said,
and reconcile.
Commissioner.
And this would happen, what, I would imagine, within a relatively short time?
No.
You?
It's not.
How long? How long would it take, perhaps?
Commissioner, it take me some time. Really, I can tell you that it's a pity. Even my wife can tell you that.
Just an indication of how long it would sometimes, or the longest it has taken you.
Yeah. I wouldn't really be having a period, because each and every incident differs on its nature. But on this one that I'm thinking of, we spent, I think, almost a year not talking to another.
So that was the longest?
Yeah.
That was the longest. All right. Let me take you to paragraph 10 of your affidavit at page 4, the original statement. In the last two sentences, you say, over the years, Fundiswa became like a baby sister to me. I grew to love and care for her as my own sibling. And in brackets, you say, my sister, close brackets. And that's not the only place where you refer to her as family. I think somewhere you even say after she had lost her own biological family, you became the only family she had. Now, I want to understand if you are a forgiving person and that the longest you have not forgiven a family member was a year. Now, someone that you considered to be family, you had a misunderstanding with her in 2005, and that was basically the end of the relationship. Yes, you do say that there are 3 to 4 calls that you remember to have had with her between 2005 until what? I think even beyond 2021 when she actually got married. So even beyond that. So, but you do add that you think there may have been 2 or so more calls. So over that period, it must have been what? Something like 6 calls at the most. It seems to me you never forgave her. Would you agree?
I will partly agree, Commissioner, that, like I've alluded earlier on,
Yes.
I took time to forgive. And as for...
But with her, it was worse because you said the longest with your family members was just a year. Now we're talking years and years and years here.
Yes, Commissioner, I remember as we grow, we mature. And in the case of Fundiso, Commissioner, you will know that I've explained earlier on that I'm the elder in my family. And as I grow and mature, I realize that keeping grudges for that long is not really assisting me, even myself. And however, Commissioner, you will know that there is no dustbin for people. And you don't choose to be in the family or in a family relationship. And I can't dispose, even if I might not have forgiven, but I cannot wish her away. I cannot dispose of a person. Persons are not disposable.
Yes. Okay. My take home is that you've said in so many words that you partly agree with me when I say you never forgave her. Okay, I'll move on. What I want to suggest to you is that it's quite some coincidence that you revive physical contact, that is sharing the same space with her, around the time Mr. Molefe is going to make the request that you referred to. So, to 2005, silent between you, no physical contact, and the first time physical contact happens is a day before Mr. Molefe makes the request for you to assist with regard to Mr. Dao's bail. Quite a coincidence. And the day before, she makes a request that you should meet Mr. Molefe. Quite a coincidence. Your comment?
Thanks, Commissioner Chair. Yes, since 2005, I've submitted that I haven't spoken to Fundiswa many a times. However, Commissioner, I have also submitted that I just don't have the dates with me.
Oh, no, yeah, I think I remember when you say it was not even her that called you when she had some problems or difficulties, but it was it one of her sisters?
Yes.
Yes. But I think we can discount that because it just related to someone wanting you to assist her. That did not necessarily revive the relationship. So with that sort of exception, my point stands. So throughout, the relationship is basically non-existent. And coincidentally, she suddenly asks to meet you. And after the discussion that the two of you had, she also then, quite coincidentally, says, please meet my husband and please meet him tomorrow. And you then meet and he makes this request. So I'm saying quite a coincidence. Your comment?
Commissioner, yes, I agree with you. It's quite coincidental. However, I still stick to my submission, Commissioner, that by then it has been some years. And when she calls, think maturely that what I'm actually doing is inhuman. And considering that Fundiswa is no longer having a family, actually, I thought I made a U-turn after I thought about it. And the actual U-turn was made during the time I was made aware that she's having incidents of crime. So, Commissioner, I will say, yes, it has taken a long time, but yes, I forgive.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Brigadier, let's move to, I'll call it the last topic, but there's a smaller nyana topic afterwards. Second last topic, or the last major topic. You testified that you had never met Mr. Molefe prior to your meeting in June 2024. Is that correct?
Correct, Advocate.
And then you meet Mr. Molefe in June of 2024. And after that meeting, you were uncomfortable. Is that correct?
Correct, Advocate.
And in fact, you say you had the sense that the meeting was orchestrated specifically for him to talk about that request that he makes at the end.
Correct, Advocate.
And in particular, that he was using the work opportunities, potential work opportunities, as a way of enticing you, you said.
Correct, Advocate.
And then you testified that when asked, did you convey this to Ms. Nyangule, you said that you did express it, but you expressed it after the stock fell.
Correct, Advocate.
And the stock fell would have been in July 2024.
Correct, Advocate.
All right. Now, at this stage, in December, you testified that you then learned from Ms. Nyangule that Mr. Molefe has been arrested.
Correct, Advocate.
And she then approaches you for assistance with delivering the clothes.
Correct, Advocate.
Now, if you take into account your interaction with Chair regarding the nature of your relationship or the strained nature of your relationship and the sparse communication, and you consider it alongside the fact that you had only ever met Mr. Molefe once, why did you feel it necessary to assist Ms. Nyangule in getting clothes to Mr. Molefe and food, and in fact the entire visit?
Commissioners, let me correct one version of the advocate's remarks. I haven't met Katiso once, I must admit.
All right.
After that meeting where we parted ways, after I said I don't discuss work cases, I believe we have met with Katiso before his arrest. And that could not be correct that I met him once.
So you met him, do you recall when before his arrest and under what circumstances?
Yeah, I recall that we met at their house in Fawes, which is Fundiswa's house, and also in that weekend, Fundiswa visited with the nephew, and then we met, sit and dine, and then that's where I asked Fundiswa separately. But Siswa mengati when we young. Oh, by the way, Commissioner.
No. I agree that you are free to do that, and as long as you translate, because sometimes you are able to convey what you want to convey in one of our languages.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I will, for the sake of time, try to shorten it and convey it in English. And I asked Fundisa that I felt like in that meeting which you arranged for me and Bouquet, when you were selling me out, then she asked me why, then I told her, and she said, no. That cannot be the case. I wouldn't have wanted you to meet my husband and at the same time set you under the bus, me and you having missed each other for so long. You are the uncle of my children, and or I don't know whether I told you that the elder son of my sister Fundis was born while she was in Kagiso at my place. So we reunited with the nephews, and it was okay. And in my mind, there was still this thing of because as she was frequently coming to Gauteng, she was busy working on the issue of the estate. And she will now and then call me and tell me the progress. And then we met with Katiso there, and then she told me that no ways, that I can put you under the bus. Believe you me, and I don't believe. I didn't know what you say you discussed with Katiso, and you did not tell me. But I will try and find out. But she came back to say, no, I don't believe Katiso can do that to you. And me now, I've missed you for quite so long. To an extent, to an extent that of late, I'm still taking care of her needs when she needs me. And even when there are 10 of events after this incident of Katiso being arrested, so we're still together.
Brigadier, until now, we were under the impression, or I was under the impression from your statement and your evidence up to now, that you met Mr. Molefe once, and the next time you had anything to do with him, is when he is now in custody. How many times after that first meeting in June 2024, and how many times have you had interactions with Mr. Molefe before he was arrested? Whether meeting, maybe actually include meetings and telephone conversations, if you've had telephone conversations with him.
What I can recall, Commissioner, is that I met him, I think, perhaps I can recall of 3 times that I've met him.
It is before he was arrested.
Before he was arrested.
And did you, in that period, that interim period, did you have any telephone communications with him?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
And just for my own clarity, the 3 times, does it include or exclude your June meeting?
No, after it excludes.
So you met him 3 more times?
Yes.
And what was the nature of your engagements then?
Yeah, you remember we spoke about the issue of the security.
Okay.
He made sure that he keep his promise, because he was the one who is saying, Abu Dhabi, are you still on that matter of the security? And I said, yes, why not? And I said, I'm still on. He was keeping me abreast, and he even went further to, in our meeting, to give me the name of the person who was dealing with the security issues in his Machabeng tender, which was a white lady. I've forgotten the name, but I can give you that white name lady. Was we even communicated telephonically with that lady. So it was a question of moving on with the notion of taking the job at the end of my career. So, yeah, that is it.
But Brigadier, it doesn't make sense, or at least maybe explain how it is that at this point you know that his friend, he's tried to talk to you about a friend who is a police officer who is accused of, who is now charged, in fact, of a very serious crime. And so now you know that. And you testified earlier that after the meeting in June with him, when you drove away, you actually thought Fundisa actually set up that meeting to talk about this issue, about the bail, the Michael Dow bail. You didn't know it was Dowie at the time, but you actually thought this is what it was about. So you know he's that close to Mr. Dowie, at least that is prepared to pay bail for him. How is it that you, with the position that you hold, are still discussing? In fact, another fact that you said, you concede that when he mentioned the security job for you, you thought maybe it's actually his way of reeling you in so that you can also intend do something for him. How is it with all of that? You're still discussing with him this security job. Fine, you don't choose who your sister gets into a relationship with. That you don't choose. But you choose your associates and your friends. And here's a man who is linked, even if it's just by friendship, is linked to someone who is accused of serious crime. And you have your suspicions about his discussion with you about a security job, but you're still discussing the security job with him. Can you explain, and make me understand how to read that conduct of yours.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Valoy. Yeah, indeed, I went on to communicate with Katiso about this security issues. And after I asked my sister in her house on the day that we met, my sister made sure that she even told me that I don't think that could be the case. And as you say, he promised you a job. I'll make sure that that happened. I'll make sure that that happened. And Katiso, he himself, when he asked me, Budeba, we're still going on with this thing. I think now after his arrest, I thought, no, man, by him wanting to carry on, wanting to pursue me to carry on with the deal of the security, he was trying to be a good man and trying to close. But I never suspected that this is luring. Although it crossed my mind, and when I asked Fundiswa, she guaranteed me that no, that can't be like that. And remember, I'm also overclouded. Maybe it could be an oversight. I'm also overclouded with the fact that when I retire, I'm at least going to be able to make bread on the table. So I could have made actually, not I could have. When I thought about it, commissioners, now, especially after February, I realized that indeed what I was suspecting is the truth. But by then, I gave it a benefit of that because I was suspecting, I was not sure, and I was assured by Fundis that, nah, there's no such. And he himself kept on promising me that, no, the deal will be on, and then he even gave me to this lady, asked this lady to go on with the planning of the retirement or the post-work work.
Thank you, Brigadier.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Brigadier, now, okay, let's depart from the point that you've had several meetings with Mr. Molefe, but you still had suspicions, although some of them were allayed by Ms. Nyangud. You then learn of his arrest, and you confirm that you were shocked. Correct?
Correct.
And in that instance, though, you did not know what he was charged with, or at least she didn't tell you what he was charged with.
When when she was telling me that Katiso is arrested.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was charged. I even asked her.
Yes.
What is he arrested for?
Yes, and she conveyed to you that she didn't know.
Yeah, she said, I don't know.
Now, on the 9th, which is the day of your visit, Mr. Molefe had his first appearance at the Vereniging Magistrate Court. That's correct.
Correct, Advocate.
And Ms. Nyangule attended the proceedings and then came to see you thereafter.
Correct, Advocate.
And in that sitting, she didn't inform you of the charges against him.
She informed me. Actually, she informed me on I think it was he was arrested on the 6th, which was on a Friday. And the following day, she left Devon. She came here, and then she went to visit him. And when she visited him, I told her actually to find out what is he arrested for. And she went there, and then she phoned me
Yes.
while she was in Pretoria Central, where he was detained. And then she told me that your brother-in-law was arrested. He's being charged for conspiracy to murder. Then I said, which murder? Then she said, this one of Puletao.
Yes. Now, on the 9th, she then comes to you to request assistance with this visitation to Mr. Molefe, correct?
Correct, Advocate.
Now, at this point, you have had suspicions of Mr. Molefe's intention. You have now been told that he is charged in the same matter he wanted you to intervene in.
Correct.
Why did you still see it prudent to involve yourself in this visitation?
Correct, Advocate. Remember I told you that really I did not understand. I could not believe that after I've asked Katiso, when he was in Pretoria Central, and he said, Buteip, I'm not involved in this matter. It's just false allegations. Don't worry, I'll overcome this. I really did not do what they're charging me for. Because I asked him, what are you charged for? What are you arrested for?
Perhaps I don't understand. You asked him when?
On the phone.
Oh, you spoke to him on the phone?
Yes.
Before the 9th?
Yes.
And he
No. Yes, before the 9th.
Then he tells you that he's not involved in this and you believed him?
No, I never believed him. I won't be believing him anymore this time.
Remember, Brigadier, I'm trying to understand. This makes it worse. You don't believe him. You know he's charged with conspiracy to commit murder. In a murder investigation, he tried to get your involvement in. So why did you still get involved in going to see him?
Good. Advocate, I wanted Katiso himself to tell me in my eyes what is he arrested for. And I even went on the second visit to meet him. And I said, are you aware that you're putting my job on the line? For me, I've been meeting you without any doubt, only to find that when you did this, he still denied. He still denied. Then from the night, February, after now, I was satisfied now that I went to I wanted to go look at him in the eyes, and he tell me, because what Fundiso is telling me, what he's telling me over the phone, I could not believe, and I was now hearing from the investigation side and from the media that he's being charged for this murder, accused of this murder, I said, really? And I realized that now my job is online. Then I went to him to tell me on the face that you really put me in the and they still deny it. Since then, Advocate, I've never involved myself in any of Katiso because I'm still angry with him.
But Brigadier, didn't you aggravate those assumptions about you by going on the 2 visits? Particularly taking into account that he has told you himself what he was being charged with.
Advocate, I might have overlooked that, but my mind that time was on the issue that I've been with this man, I trusted him, and Fundusha, do you see where you put me in? Now, she was saying the same things that, you know what, I want him to tell you, because he also denied to me So I was overclouded with anger. To say, I want him to tell me in my eyes that, did you really do this when I put K? And he told me that I didn't. He denied it up until the last visit that I went to see him in prison, and that was the last.
Brigadier, are you suggesting that he would have ever admitted that he was involved in the murder of people? I'm trying to figure out in this instance where you know what he's being charged with, you've had suspicions, why you would still go, knowing that criminal or people who are accused of heinous crimes generally do not admit, even when they look at their loved ones in their eyes.
Advocate, I hear what you say, but some, when they realize that they are now in real trouble, reality hit home. They confess and tell you that I've done this, I'm sorry, can you help me?
So you were hoping to get a confession?
I was hoping to get at least a confession to say, perhaps I've conspired with these people.
From someone who had denied it to their partner and to you? I mean, you had said that Ms. Yangule said he has denied it even to her. Why would he be honest with you when you barely had a relationship?
Advocate, I never thought it that way. And I remember I was angry. What was clouding my mind, it was to go see him and ask him in his face, tell me, did you really do this?
Brigadier, you are angry, but here you are taking him food and a change of clothes. That's not the conduct of an angry man who's going there to get answers that you say you were seeking. That's a relative, a friend, or someone who cares to make sure that that person has the food that his wife wants him to get and a change of clothes. That's the first problem I have about the first visit that you made, that it doesn't, this conduct doesn't reflect anger, one. Two, he's already told you on the phone, on your account, that he didn't do what he's accused of before you go there on the 9th. You say he's already told you that on the phone. So you are visiting him so that you can look at him in his face and have him tell you, but you already know that his answer, typically actually, of people who are accused of such serious crimes, typically they will say, I didn't do it, as Ms. Bowe says to you. But he's told you on the phone. So you going there to get the same answer again. Three, you have no explanation to us why Fundiswa could not give him the clothes and the food. It's a weekday and there's the 10th still that's coming. Why it is that you had to step in and do this task after hours. In fact, you, because of your position, you actually phone the area commissioner. So by virtue of your position, you have access to someone that's that senior and you get told you can come. And indeed you do arrive there, but you've made arrangements because of, you use your position to contact somebody. So there are these things that are problematic about that first visit that you make. For someone on who has said in your evidence that at some point you suspected his motives, Fundiswa's and his motives, why they're talking to you. You say that, but then that visit is problematic. The same with the second visit. The way you explain it in your statement is Fundiswa called you and said, I'm coming up, I don't have a car, I'm going to see Kati, so please pick me up and go with me. That's how you explain how you end up in this visit in February. That's your explanation in the statement. And now to say it's because you wanted to confront him in February. The story is all over the place that he's accused of very heinous crimes. And here you are thinking, or you want us to accept that you're thinking if you look at him in his face, in February, right in his face in February, he will suddenly confess. But you've given us an explanation why you went there. And it is not that you are angry still in February and you're going to confront him. Your explanation in a supplementary statement is that you basically are accompanying Fundiswa, who doesn't have a car and who's asked you to assist her. In fact, I would have, before you gave this explanation, my question about that second visit was going to be, why didn't you remain in the car? If all you were doing was to, now that you know the story about Mr. Molefe, that he's accused of this serious, he's being charged actually, of this murderous crime. When you do pick up Fundiswa in February, why did you not remain in the car and let her go? You're a senior police officer. What are you doing associating with someone accused of such serious crimes? So your explanation for visiting the prison on both occasions is simply not satisfactory. You may comment if you want to.
Commissioner, I hear what you're saying, and indeed, by then, I'm not thinking rationally, because I'm saying I'm angry. Indeed, I was angry, and I was not only angry for Katiso, but also with my sister. And then prior to me going for the second visit, I stayed. I'm sure you can see the time frame in between, Commissioner. It took me some time for me to accompany Fundiswa, because I was also blaming her, and she was keep on telling me that this thing I also did not know. I also did not know this thing. I also want him to tell me in my face. Maybe when we're together, you can hear, and that I'm also worried as to what kind of man was I married to, if indeed he did this. So I accept, Commissioner, the way you saw this. I mean, any other person will see it that way, but it is not that way. I was really wanting to hear from him. Did you really put me into this situation? Then from that day, I even told Fundiswa, you know what, for the sake of our children and everything, of course, we are not going to terminate the relationship, but you must know that me and Katiso will never see, because he already put me in the under the bus.
Thank you, Brigadier.
Brigadier, there was more reason for you not to want to associate yourself with that visit of the 9th of December 2024. Because according to your statement, when Fundisa comes to you, it's between 1 and 2, and you are still at work, so you can't go to Groenbond prison at that time. But something even more serious. This murder takes place in your district during the time when you are the head of that district, as you said. And it's a heinous crime because Mr. Swart was killed using an AK-47, an assault rifle. And now you hear that the person you are going to give clothes and food is accused of having conspired to kill Mr. Swart in your district using AK-47s and using hitmen. That, I would suggest to you, should have said, until I know that he has nothing to do with this, I don't want to associate myself with him. Do you have a comment?
Yes, Commissioner, thanks. I wanted to hear from him that did you really do or you did not do? I wanted him to tell me in my face, and that was the last time. But I accept, Commissioner, that sitting where you're sitting, you will see it in the way you see it. And I agree. There's an oversight in that regard.
I'm sure as a police officer, you take pride in murders not taking place in your district.
100%.
And you are angry when people come to your district and commit murder and increase murder statistics in your district.
Correct, Commissioner.
And when somebody gets accused of having come to your district and used or conspired with other people to use an AK-47 to murder somebody in your district, I mean, that's something that should make you think twice, not so.
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Brigadier, so in this instance, just taking into account your responses, would you then agree with me that when you said earlier, you testified earlier that your visits or your conduct was limited to just assisting your sister to facilitate delivery of clothing, and this was personal and humanitarian acts, that wasn't altogether truthful? In fact, the purpose of your visit, as you say, was to confront Mr. Molefe.
Commissioners, it was obviously to go and give him the clothes, and obviously, which I was asked by Fundis. Also, the fact that should I have an opportunity to see him, I will ask him. Had I been able to see him on that 9, I was not going to go back on the second visit.
Yes, Brigadier, I'm saying to you that the way you represented your reasons in your statements was not altogether truthful, because there was more to these visits than what you have stated. And it must be so, because this is what you say you wanted to do.
Yeah, Advocate, I want to say that because there were 2 reasons for me to go see him, let me say I accept what you're saying, because it was 2 reasons.
And
not only 1 reason.
And then when you explain in your second visit, you say that you did not use your rank to gain improper access. And I can accept that for your second visit. But in relation to the first visit, you did use your rank to call connections that only you could have had. Fundisa alone would not have been able to call an area commissioner to then be referred to Mr. Nhlapo, to then go to the facility after hours and all of that. That's because of your position. Do you accept that?
Partially, yes, Advocate. However, I was using the privilege that the commissioner I know the commissioner, not the rank. It was just that I know the commissioner, and I wanted him to tell me the procedures, because if I was using or misusing my position, I would have gone to that particular institution, and then when they say you can't see, the policy does not allow you to see Katiso at this time, I would have said, no, but Mina, I'm a brigadier, you can allow me. So I didn't do that. I listened to what they are advising me. Then I took it and I went without seeing him.
Brigadier, I'm not suggesting that you went and said, I'm a brigadier, therefore you must. I'm saying that because of your rank and your position, you have connections and you use those connections by calling an area commissioner. Joe on the street can't be able to do that. It's not going to call an area commissioner and ask that. Do you accept that?
Yes, I accept that.
Now let's go to your conversation with Mr. Mkalipi. Just want to ask about one aspect of it. Hopefully we won't spend too much time. If we can go to page 105 of tab 3. 105.
05. Thank you.
You see, that's the statement of Mr. Kalipi.
Correct, Advocate.
Now, I want to refer you to paragraph 4, where he says that on the 9th of December, he received a call from you at about 13:24 to ask for permission to bring clothes to his brother-in-law, who was arrested at an airport the same day, the 9th of December 2024, and appeared at the Vereeniging Court and was remanded to Grindpoint Prison. You see that?
Yes, Commissioners.
Now, on your version, you said that you called him to understand the procedure, but what his recollection of this incident was that you were calling to ask for permission to bring clothes because Mr. Molefe was arrested the same day at an airport. And that was not true, because we know that Mr. Molefe was arrested on the 6th at his residence.
Commissioners, when a person is arrested, it is a common knowledge that a person will not be taken straight to the prison. The person will be taken to the police station and will be detained in the police cells. And the process of charging that particular person will take place within the 48 hours, which is given in accordance with the law. Then the person will then have to go to court before he can be transferred to a prison. So I couldn't have called and told the area commissioner that this brother-in-law of mine is arrested in the airport. And I knew that he was arrested on the 6th. Remember, I said I was called and told that he was arrested on a Friday. And the process of the procedure of processing the first accused person before he appear in court, I know it very well.
Perhaps, Brigadier, so is your simple, straightforward answer is that that's not what you said? That
No, that's not what I said.
And that Mr. Mkalipi is lying in this instance?
Yes, that's not what I said, Commissioners. What I said is that this was remanded to his prison after the appearance in Vereeniging Court on the 9th.
And why would Mr. Mkalipi lie about this?
Maybe he misunderstood me, I don't know.
Misunderstood you? Maybe.
I don't know actually. Why would he say that?
Because you'll accept that this is very specific to say arrested at an airport, didn't have any clothes. I'm saying you can accept that this is a very specific scenario he's painting.
I don't know why is it specific.
No, he's describing that you had informed him your brother-in-law has been arrested at the airport on the same day and was appearing in Vereeniging court. So I'm saying it's very specific.
I'm denying it. I don't know.
You deny that it's
Yes, I'm
specific.
denying it.
All right, Brigadier, I won't take it.
Do you accept that you told Mr. Mkalipi that Mr. Molefe had appeared at Vereeniging court that day and was remanded, that is the important part, remanded to Groenbent prison? You said that?
Correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Then why do you say in your statement at paragraph 49, you inquired whether he had been admitted to that facility? If you knew, as you must have known, I accept that he's appeared already, so you knew in the same way that Fundisa knew that he's going to Groenbent. Why in paragraph 49 do you say you made an inquiry about something that you know already?
Commissioner, perhaps I should get to my statement.
Okay, it's that your main statement at page 13 and paragraph 49. Paragraph 49.
Yeah, I got it, Commissioner.
Yes, and you see there, you say, I immediately contacted the area commissioner to inquire whether Mr. Molefe had been admitted at that facility so that you can deliver basic personal clothing. Now, that is different, completely different from what Mr. Mkalipi says you said, in which you admit that you actually did say to him that man is in Groenbent. And my question is, why do you give us the impression in paragraph 49, the incorrect impression that you didn't know at that point when you spoke to Mr. Mkalipi that this man is in fact in Groenbent? Because that's the impression you have created in so many words.
Thanks, Commissioner Balloon. The standard procedure that I know of, Commissioner, when a suspect is arrested and appear before the jurisdiction, which is now in Vereeniging in this case, they send the awaiting trial prisoners to Leeuwhof, which is within the jurisdiction of Vereeniging. Now, this one, it was different, and we were all surprised why he was detained or incarcerated in Groenbent. Now, I even, Commissioner, told Mr. Mkalipi that please, you might not be aware of this because he has just been, the court has just been concluded, and he might not have arrived yet in your prison. And that's when he said, okay, hang on, let me go and verify. And he came back to me with the verification to say, no, he is there. But he earlier said that he is not housing awaiting trial present.
Yes. The simple point I'm making or I'm raising with you, and this is my last attempt at it. The simple point I'm making is in paragraph 49 of your statement, which is a recent statement, it's an April statement. You say that you inquired whether Mr. Molefe was at that facility being Groenbent. Let's stop there. You say, I inquired whether he's there. So you didn't know. You asked Mr. Kalipi, do you have this person in your prison? You asked that question. But you tell us, or you accept in your oral evidence, that Mr. Mkalipi is correct when he says you, in fact, told him that Mr. Molefe is in Groenbent prison. So you knew where he was incarcerated. He's appeared in court. You knew that he's been remanded to Groenbent. That is not controversial. Mr. Mkalipi tells us that. You've now admitted it in your oral evidence. The issue I'm taking with you is your statement at paragraph 49 is in fact misleading. And we wouldn't have known if we didn't have Mr. Mkalipi's statement. We wouldn't have known that, but what you tell us in 49 is not correct. You already knew, in the same way that Fundisa knew where he was and could have taken the food and the clothes to him. Because he'd been remanded in prison, to Groenbent at court. So she knew where to find him. Your involvement was not because she doesn't know where to find him. She knew where he is. You knew where he is. There's no reason, you haven't provided a reason why she didn't go there to deliver these things. You may comment if you have a comment, but I'm just making the point to you that your 49 is misleading, and I think deliberately so.
Thank you, Commissioner. Most definitely, it was not deliberately done to mislead you, Commissioners. I really don't. I didn't do that for that. All I was inquiring about, Commissioner, is that, as I've alluded earlier on, I knew that when first appearance suspect appear in court in Vereeniging, they will be remanded, if they're remanded in prison, in lieu of prison. Now, I had to inquire because in this one, I'm being told by Fundis. Yes, Fundis I knew because she was coming from court, which I never attended. And she came and told me that the magistrate remanded the case to Groenbent. They remanded him to Groenbent. So I had to inquire, because it was not standard.
Thank you. Thanks, Brigadier.
Can I point out, Brigadier, are you aware, just looking at that affidavit on page 105, and also Captain Tsukudus, and also Witness B, and all the other affidavits you were referred to? If you look at the dates when they were deposed to, it's in January 2025. Do you see that? Just look at page 107.
In which?
In the same bundle. Remember, we were looking at the representative from Groenbent. That's
105.
Yeah. If you go
Commissioner.
107, that's where the date of the affidavit is.
Yes, I'm here.
Do you see that is the 21st of January 2025?
Correct.
And Captain Tsukudus' affidavit was also January 2025. The other witnesses, it was all January 2025. The point I want to make is this, that to the extent that there are inconsistencies between all these affidavits and your statement, would you accept that because their affidavits were done 4 weeks after these events, their recollection of these events would be more accurate than yours? Because you are coming to the commission a year and a half later to testify about these events. Whereas when they gave these statements on affidavit, it was immediately after the events. So if you think about your visit on the 9th of December 2024, a month later, they deposed to these affidavits. So is it not more likely that their account of events is more accurate than yours?
Commissioner, I hear your point. It could be that they were still, this incident was still fresh in their mind.
Exactly.
But I maintain, Commissioner, that I remember vividly when I was talking to Mr. Mkalipi, that I told him that he was arrested on the 6th because I knew, because I was sitting with Fundiswa in my office and I knew exactly that he was arrested on Friday and he appeared on Monday.
I don't want you to repeat those facts. The simple point I was making, because it's a lot of affidavits, even the Brigadier who is in charge of witness B, I think, and the other witness, you saw her affidavit where she says it was reported to her and she had to reprimand Tugudu for his behavior. You saw that affidavit?
Yes, Commissioner.
And I'm saying because of the time when those affidavits were done, should we not accept that the events were still fresh in their minds and therefore their account of those events would be more accurate than yours? It could be you don't remember or your account is no longer accurate because it's been some time since these events happened and therefore your recollection is not as, what it would have been had you deposed to the same affidavit in January of 2025.
Let me agree, Commissioner.
Not that you are misleading us or you are lying. It could just be that it's been a year and a half, so your account may not be as accurate as people who did the affidavits 4 weeks after the event.
Commissioner Kumal, I can accept that I could have forgotten some facts because it was long. But the fact that Curtis was arrested on that day...
No, that we don't take issue. We know he was arrested on the 6th, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
And we know that you went to Groenpunt on the 9th, so you don't need to repeat those facts.
Okay.
We are only concerned with what these people say happened when they encountered you or when they spoke to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I leave it there, that at least you are prepared to accept that?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Boy.
Commissioners, I propose to move to the last point. I'm so sorry. And it's, Brigadier, it's in relation to the Ford Raptor. So in your statement, your supplementary statement...
Sorry, before you do that, before you leave that topic, this is the prison visit. Commissioner, sorry, Brigadier, and I think we should put this to you for your comment. Mr. Molefe seems to have denied that you are his brother-in-law. Here's allegations that are made. You said he was, according to Mkalipi, he was arrested at the airport. You need to come and see him and give him a change of clothes. He was arrested that day. That's what Mkalipi says. And then Mkalipi, supported by the statement and affidavit of Nkoli, I think it's Nkoli, they say that after you had unsuccessfully attempted to see Mr. Molefe on the 9th, on the 10th, Nkoli spoke to Mr. Molefe, and Mr. Molefe said You are not his relative. You're not his brother-in-law. Explain that. Explain why he would deny you, especially when on your different accounts you have interacted with him quite closely, about 3-4 times. You visited the family. He's married to your sister. Why would Mr. Molefe want to create a distance between you and him?
Commissioner, I wouldn't know.
Yes.
I wouldn't know what was in his mind to say that. And I don't even know whether they're telling the truth in saying he denied me. I don't know.
Well, they are on affidavit, so until we hear otherwise, we have to accept their statements that they did speak to, and this is statements under oath, that they did speak to Mr. Molefe, and he said what he said. There is no, unless you say you don't know why they would say this, that he denied it. Do you have any reason to disbelieve them that that's what Mr. Molefe said to them, that he doesn't know you?
At this stage, Commissioner, Mr. Molefe is, according to me, a liar. He can't tell the truth, and he lied to me in my eyes. So I'll rather believe what the officials are saying than what Molefe is saying.
Is it not perhaps possible that whatever relationship with him you had, he never considered you to have a familial relationship with him? It's a business relationship. The first time he meets you, he talks about bail, according to you, trying to get bail to see if there will be bail for Tao, and he talks about you coming to work for his security company. That conversation carries on further, you tell us, in other discussions, and maybe after all, he had no interest and he never considered you or perceived you as his family and brother-in-law, but in fact as a person that would be useful to him for purposes that we have seen, that he wanted you to help out with the bail issue, whatever he intended with security, but he didn't see you as a family member. And you may have been hoodwinked into thinking this is a familial relationship, either by him, but certainly by Fundisa.
Thanks, Commissioner. In short, I really don't know what was in his mind. I wouldn't know what was he thinking to say that. But with regard to the relationship, he has got no choice.
He has no choice but to be your family.
Yeah, I mean, by virtue of me being a family of Fundisa, he is my family.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Brigadier, in your statement, let's start with the supplementary statement. You deal with the Ford Raptor that Ms. Nyangule used to go to court on the 5th of March. You recall that?
Yes, Advocate.
And the allegation, of course, there was that the vehicle belonged to you. And in your statement, you confirmed that.
Correct.
So in an effort to just track the vehicle, we saw that the vehicle has now been sold.
Correct, Advocate.
And it was sold to Oma Motor,
Correct, Advocate.
which is the same dealership that also you bought your BMW from.
Correct, Advocate.
Now, what's your relationship with this dealership?
Business relationship.
When you say
Client and or customer relationship.
so when you say business, you mean you are a customer of theirs
Yes,
and you have no interest beyond being a customer.
nothing.
right.
Advocate.
Brigadier, if we can go to CJC 190.
I'm on it, Advocate.
You will see there that when we ran an analysis of your bank accounts, we noticed there that particularly in 2025, Oma Motors makes monthly payments to you. Can you see those? Every month, there's about 2 payments. A payment would be of 13 and then it's followed by 32,000. Can you see that?
I see that, Advocate.
And maybe that's just in 2025. If you start at 2024, at the top of the page, you'll see that there's a number of payments, some of which are bulk payments, and they're referenced as trade-in value. And they even mention which vehicle those payments related to.
Correct, Advocate.
But later on, the payments don't have the same reference. And in particular, from late 2024, they're consistently, they're regularized and it's the same amount. So if you go to, oh goodness. You know where it starts with, after there was a payment of 159,350. 305, that's.
The font is very,
The font is very small,
yes, Advocate. And
so you can't see it.
I really struggle to see.
Maybe my point really is this, that particularly in 2025, we see consistent payments twice a month, first of 13,000, followed by 32,000 every month. Is there a reason for this?
Correct, Advocate. As you have read this spreadsheet, I have, as you rightfully said, I have sold my X5 vehicle to buy another X5 in that dealership. And on the other amount that you see, actually I bought in totality 3 vehicles in that dealership.
Yes.
Yes, so these monies that you see is for the vehicles that I have sold them, which is, you say, is captured as trade-ins. So the money for the trade-ins is being paid to my account every month.
Is there a reason why these are monthly payments as opposed to lump sum payments like it usually is?
Yes, my understanding is that if you pay on a monthly basis to the account, you are not when you pay the lump sum to the finance, you are losing because they are charging you interest. So when you get a monthly payment from the dealership, you also benefiting because you're charging them also the interest.
I'm not sure I follow. So you agree to a monthly repayment because it would benefit you?
Yes.
And if these numbers were checked against the value of the cars, we would find that you were paid exactly what the car was traded in for.
Exactly, Advocate. That's how we calculated it.
All right. I will say that we have begun investigations on this, and one thing that we can note is in discussions with the dealership, it was mentioned that this was your agreement. You insisted on monthly payments. This is not something that they regularly do. Do you have a comment on that?
No comment, Advocate.
Do you
I agree.
accept that it was your
Yes.
agreement?
Yes.
And just lastly, if we are to check the values that are being paid for these cars as against the values that you've also declared to SAPS, it would be the same.
It will be the same, Advocate.
Oh, thank you, Brigadier.
Thank you.
Mr. Petlane, do you have any re-examination?
Just one question, if you permit, Chairperson.
Yes, please go ahead.
Brigadier Nkwashu, now that you know about your meeting with Mr. Molefe of late June 2024, you know the facts. Now that you know what the commissioners have raised with you about your conduct, your ethics, your morality, what do you have to say?
Thank you, Advocate. I would like to apologize, especially to the family of Armand Swart, whose life has been lost at the hands of this brother-in-law of mine, and say at least I have tried to do justice, and I'll continue to ensure that justice is achieved. If indeed he was involved in the matter of Armand Swart, he need to pay for his deeds. And with regard to my conduct,
Perhaps before you go further, you stated it as a fact that Mr. Molefe committed the murder. At this stage, it's alleged. Please continue. No, I just wanted to correct you stating it as a fact. You may continue to the next point you wanted to make.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Chair. I like to apologize to the entire community that is watching this embarrassment that is caused by my conduct, by colluding with this Katiso, although I did not know is this type of a person, and I really feel betrayed, and I'm definitely not going to continue having any engagement with this particular guy, and I wish justice be prevail.
Thank you, Brigadier Nkwashu. Chairperson and Commissioners, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Bowen. Thank you, Mr. Petlane. Thank you very much to you too, Brigadier. You are excused. Let us adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow.